Honorable Alieu Badara Joof was one of the pioneers in transforming pedagogy aimed at empowering the youth with the requisite skills for building the Africa we want. We at the Association of African Universities and the Africa Centers of Excellence for Development Impact Community extend our deepest condolences to the Joof family and the people of the Gambia for such a great loss. AAU witnessed his rise from being the Minister of Education and subsequently the Vice President of the Gambia. During his tenure as Education Minister, he leveraged the World Bank's ACE project to elevate the Gambia Technical Training Institute into a full-fledged university. His Excellency Badara Alieu Joof was incredibly passionate about the growth and expansion of quality education on the African continent. Indeed, his passing is a great loss to the higher education fraternity. His speech at the 8th ACE Impact Regional Workshop in November 2022 is one that the ACE Impact community would carry along and forever remember him for.
Honorable Ministers, the Minister for Higher Education, World Bank representatives, AAU Secretary General, and the representatives of AAU, AFD representatives, members of the media, staff of the Ministry of Higher Education, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a very impressive crowd. Whilst I was sitting next to the professor, I asked him how many countries were represented, and he told me quite a number. And it is all to share experiences and expertise, knowledge sharing based on a win-win situation. And that reminds me the story of a professor who was invited to give a lecture, and he asked the audience whether they knew what he was going to talk about. And the audience said no. He said he was not then going to talk to a bunch of ignoramuses. He left. The second time they invited him, and the audience consulted among themselves. So they said yes. He said, well, it's not necessary since you know. So he left. The third time they invited him, and the audience divided. Those on the right said, yes, we know, and those on the left said, no, we don't. And he said, let those who know tell those who don't. The moral of that story is that acquiring worthwhile knowledge is a task of self-help as well as mutual help. Coming together, sharing experiences, varied in nature, varied in depth, varied in scope, would enrich all participants. So let those who know tell those who don't. Let me start by expressing delight and appreciation on behalf of His Excellency, the President and the government, and of course the students of this country. And I'm convinced that the contribution of this project would have an immense impact, not only for the Gambia, but also for the entire Africa region. The knowledge and experiences shared, solutions proffered, and partnership established during the period will go a long way in supporting individual participating countries in their development drive. The students are eager to learn. We are educating them for the future. And the AAU plus the ACE impact projects must make sure that we don't fail them. We don't have much time. Charles Dickens wrote Great Expectations. Chinua Achebe wrote No Longer at Ease. The students have great expectations, but they are no longer at ease for greater knowledge, for relevant knowledge, for appropriate knowledge, in order to fulfill their role in our drive to realize our development imperatives. Ladies and gentlemen, 5.5 years ago, at the helm of the Ministry of Higher Education, I mobilized a technical team that put the necessary processes and documentation that ensured that the Gambia's acceptance as the second Africa Centers of Excellence for Development Impact was realized. Both the President and myself have always associated ourselves with this project. We know that it is a solution to Africa's human capital challenges. We have been working diligently in supporting the development of our region's capital stock development in the respective fields, more so in the STEM areas, health and agriculture, as well as building institutions that are not only involved in teaching and research, but as resilient to the disruption of the environment, climate change, and global public health emergencies. These challenges have to be contextualized and developed. It reminds me of the dilemma of the African intellectual who lost his wallet on one side of the road, was looking for it on the other side of the road because there is more light. It is high time we brought light to where the wallet is so that we can use Africa's resources to develop Africa. The older generation should take note. As Frederick Douglass said, it is easier to build strong children than repair broken men. We are broken men, so let's build strong children for a strong generation. Hosting such an event with a high number of distinguished personalities from different locations across the globe requires a lot of planning and resources. I must thank every individual and partner who has contributed to the success of this event. This is a clear manifestation of the One Africa dream we all envisage. And that reminds me of a story of the Jamaican team. When Usain Bolt ran for gold, he ran 9.5 and he got the gold. When the Jamaican team ran the 4x4, they ran 9.2 and they got the gold. So within the teamwork, Usain Bolt ran 9.2. But as an individual, he ran 9.5. Teamwork takes precedence over an individual. Sits positively on what should be the axis of each of your collective ACE centers, since innovation and research are critical pillars towards the performance and variance of tertiary and higher education institutions. Thus, the conclusions reached here will help address current implementation bottlenecks. But the success of this workshop will not be judged by the virtuous statements made here, but by the achievements hereafter. It must be results-based, results-oriented. The government of the Gambia remains grateful to the World Bank, the Association of African Universities, the ACE for the trust and confidence in allowing the Gambia to host this significant event when the world is just recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a great honor, and we hope that as a country, we have met your expectations regarding hospitality, orderly organization, and quality input into the workshop. The progress made already in the establishment of the USET as an excellent indicator of the achievements of the National Development Plan led by His Excellency the President. For this, allow me to take the opportunity to thank the University of Kwame Nkrumah and also Demon Fort in UK for their support in building up this nascent university. And I'm surprised I have interacted with Kwabena many a times and he couldn't still pronounce my name. To the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Science and Technology, I enjoin you to remain steadfast on the tertiary and higher education reforms agenda, emphasizing skills development for a better Gambia. Additionally, I wish to thank you for hosting and all the other local organizing committee members, including members from the Gambia, AAU, the World Bank, that have worked so hard to make this event a success. I thank you and congratulate you for your efforts. I pray for the successful completion of all the project initiatives as part of these regional activities, and that the World Bank comes up with a successor project that will complement the gains already achieved. I saw Ekwa outline some of the areas that people should concentrate on. I believe it was Seneca who said, there's no favorable wind for those who don't know where they are going. We have a favorable wind. We know where we are going. It is all signposted. And I'm sure regardless of the challenges, the team will make it to the target. Ferdinand Magellan, the Portuguese explorer, said, those who continue to fix their gaze on the shores will not go anywhere. This country, the ACE Impact, AAU, the World Bank, will go on regardless of what is ahead of us. And I would like to conclude by quoting Jefferson. He said, there's danger in standing still and there's danger in going forward. And I chose that which is incidental to the latter. We have chosen that which is incidental to the latter. And on that note, I declare this workshop closed. Thank you.
We have lost a dedicated educationist, a visionary, and a freedom fighter who had much to offer Africa. Rest in peace, His Excellency Badara Alieu Joof.